Hello, good morning, good day, good evening, whenever you are seeing this message, everybody. My name is Aphrodite, aka Madam Suave. If you are new here, I would like to welcome you to the community. Be sure to check the description box below and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. So today's message is going to be a very brief one. However, it is very layered and there is a lot intertwined and interwoven within this message. So as always, please only take what resonates and leave the rest for who it is meant for. Remember that energy is timeless and fluid, and that this could be past, present, or future energy. And flip roles if they do need to be reversed. The title of today's message is "The Only Way Out is Through. Within is the only way out." Now, the original message that came through is about someone who was trafficked, okay? And so you may know this person or be very close with this person. However, you're also going to have to know what this means for you because, as I said, this is very layered and interwoven, okay? But someone was trafficked in a seemingly innocent way. So some sort of contract, and what it seems is that they were either groomed or recruited by someone who they saw as a friend or someone that they trusted. Or this could also be by someone who appears seemingly innocent or harmless. So very non-threatening, okay? So someone who appears non-threatening, basically as a front, okay? This person who seemed, harmless, innocent, etc., they could have been used as a front or some sort of bait, okay? So someone was scammed, and I was getting that this could be career-wise. Now, as I said, I know I am repeating this, but as I said, this is a layered message. So this could be some sort of other message for you on a personal level. If I do have any additional messages, they will be on the screen, okay? So keep out for those. But someone has been excommunicated from their family and friends, and you may be unable to reach or contact them, but are also worried about them. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention is that you guys may remember, and I believe I mentioned this the first time in 2022. So it's almost been 3 years since I have mentioned this, and I think I may have mentioned it recently too. I'm not really sure, I can't keep up, but you may remember that I said that many people will be stuck between two levels of consciousness, okay? This is also known as hypnagogia. So a lot of people are under hypnosis and illusion. So this is a psychosis crisis, okay? This is a psychosis crisis for those who are in limbo, who prefer delusion to reality. So we are in the age of Aquarius. This is the time of enlightenment and truth. So you have to think, as illusions are being broken, and then you have people who kind of rely on these illusions because they prefer to live in illusion rather than kind of facing the truth, right? Which brings us to the title, which is "The Only Way Out is Through. Within is the only way out," because you cannot escape yourself, right? And so if you're relying on escapism and your supply is basically illusion, and that illusion is beginning to disappear, and you are dependent on that illusion to survive, and you no longer have that supply to survive, then you kind of go into a state of panic and frantic, okay? Now, this is something that people may not fully be aware of. For some, they are aware of it. For others, they are very, very unaware. And I will explain that as we get towards the end of the message, okay? But you may have noticed lots of changes, or like their light has gone out and they do not seem the same. For some of you, this is twin energy that I am picking up on. So this could be literal for some of you. It does not have to be, but this may be literal for some of you, okay? So you share a third eye or intuitive connection with them and know that something is wrong. But back to the kind of like the original message that I am getting, okay? Back to the original message that I am getting about this person who, may have roped someone into something, okay? So someone made a promise to someone else, or were used as a middleman to rope someone, or they were seen as some sort of connection to help them with career, okay? So this could have been an agent, a manager, or just someone who was used, as a connection, whatever. But whoever this person is that they trusted, they have been isolated from, okay? They are only surrounded by strangers at this time. So they may be visible, seemingly free, but being monitored or held against their will, okay? So maybe you found some sort of way to communicate with them and are trying to get help or get them out, trying to maintain their strength and hope. So you may speak to this person in your dreams, or there is someone you are communicating with in your dreams who you need to stop speaking to, okay? Because there are I am getting that someone is trying to locate, okay? Trying to locate or find some sort of location, or this could also just be information. So if you're someone who you cannot really control your dreams, you kind of need to be mindful at this time, all right? I am also getting, though, that someone is under the command of something else, and this may be something that they are unaware of, all right? Back to this thing that I was mentioning about, someone who's being trafficked, okay? They were told that they would make some sort of money, but really okay. So I'm not sure if this is the person because I'm actually getting several things here, okay? So I'm not sure if this is just the person who was actually led into being trafficked, or if this is, someone else, maybe the person who is kind of used as bait or to kind of as some sort of front, okay? But they were told they would make money, but really they only get an allowance or also permissions, okay? Allowance or permissions. So their entire life is managed or dictated by someone else. However, they are extremely outnumbered and someone is watching them at all times. So someone either refused a deal or made a deal that they cannot deliver on. And for someone, it is unknown to them, okay? So I got this message on a whim. It kind of just came out of nowhere. And then I was expecting to give you guys, you know, another message. However, I do not even have a full message for you guys today because there is a layer of mystery meant to remain. So the unknown remains unknown until it is known, and that time has not yet come, okay? But one thing about the unknown is that the subconscious always knows, even if the conscious doesn't, because the subconscious feels, okay? So this is kind of what I meant when I said, you know, that people may not even understand why they are acting or reacting the way that they are, okay? For some they do and some that they don't. This is what I meant by that. So all I can say is that your presence disrupts a lot and nothing will be as you know, all right? So that concludes today's message. If you got anything from this message, if it was helpful to you in some sort of way, I do ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. And I'll see you all next time. I love you all. Bye. Stay safe.